last year, I think it was, 11 months ago, an article came out by, I don't know, take your pick. They're all full of cunt hoods who were never in danger of having an original thought a day in their fucking life because they're all bots as far as I'm concerned. But the game journalists were bitching about Resident Evil 5 as usual, talking about how racist it was, and they haven't stopped. Like, they recently, I remember the IGN, those dipshits came out with a piece about how, no, Resident Evil 5 doesn't need to be remade, it needs to be rewritten. Like, no, it doesn't, dipshit. Like, imagine a world where you are so out of touch, you think everything in its mother is racist. That's game journalism in a nutshell. It's always been that way. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I think that was around the time Resident Evil 5 came. Yeah, I was probably a freshman. Or the year after, I forget which the term is, but maybe the year after my freshman year when that game came out. And by the way, that was my first entry into the series. I've said this before and I'll say it again. That was my first Resident Evil game I ever played. And folks, it's still probably one of my favorite fucking ones. Just in hindsight. My only complaint with the game was, well, looking back after I've learned the lore of the series, my only complaint with Resident Evil 5 was the fact that they hammed in Jill Valentine's the antagonist or a mini-antagonist. Like, I think that should have been Steve Burnside that did that with. Because, well, it was said by Wesker and Code Veronica that it was possible he might come back to life to see Cleric, and I would have been like, yeah, use that against Chris. Force him to fight someone that his sister cares about. That might fuck with him a little. Or it could be a case where he has incentive not to kill Steve, but to try to save him. But regardless, I love that game despite that one complaint because it was fun to play. It was kind of disturbing, and best of all, it was fun. The only downside was I didn't play it smart the first round, so I had to keep going back and saving up money to buy more ammunition. That was the one downside. But anyway, so these dipshits are saying like it needs to just be redone altogether. Like, no, it doesn't. Resident Evil 5 was not racist. If it, like, you dipshits had no problem when you were in Antarctica or some South American island in the middle of nowhere shooting zombies. It did not bother you then. You had, as far as I know, you had no problem with killing zombies in Mexico in Operation Hidalgo. I don't think, anyway. You had no problem with killing a butt-fuck of people in Raccoon City or the Mansion. Granted, there were as many monsters as zombies at the time, if I remember correctly, but still. The only reason why they got their bitch suits out, the only reason why they were so bitchy about Resident Evil 5 and why they then as now were stirring shit where there was no need for there to be a commotion is because these are a bunch of reactionary, histrionic cunts who always need to stir up drama to compensate for the fact that, like women, when they're bored, they need something to do. And yeah, well, I'm not apologizing for that joke, but anyway, they always look for something to be offended by. They have always been the perpetually offended, pathetic, useless scum fucks they've always been. For Christ's sake, well, yeah, thumb is more. Actually, no, yeah, thumbs are useful. I should know. Anyway, I don't know. Think of the most useless person that has ever existed in life that you've met. Odds are they're 10 times more useful than a game journalist. I will bet money on that. Like, my stepmom was probably more productive than these assholes. Actually, no, she was and is, but still. They have always done shit like this. It's just, like, they're like Tom Cruise. They're just back to jumping on the couch again. And they have never changed. So yeah, fuck them. Resident Evil 5, I hope it gets remade even better. I hope all the consistent plot points of the game are still the same. Even the Jill Valentine plot point. Actually, I know it is because they can't fucking change. They still have to do word for word, point by point, blow by blow what the original plot was, but still. I hope they do all of this. I hope it is fun. I hope it is cool. I hope gamers enjoy it. I might even get it myself because even though I didn't get the remake of 2, 3, and 4, I might get 5. Actually, I might get the remake of 4 because I've been working on some Resident Evil stories and I need some inspiration, let's just say. But yeah, I hope it is good. I hope they remake it and make it just as good, if not better, in terms of playability. And also, I hope they make Wesker's death a little bit more painful, but that's just my personal interest. And I hope it is best. I hope, best of all, I hope it triggers the fuck out of these assholes. Because you know what? Fuck game journalists. They are the most useless, subhuman pieces of shit I've ever had the misfortune of being aware of. The only thing worse than them are communists. And I'm pretty sure they're one and the same at this point, so fuck it. They're like Walter Durante, except they're still alive and we can't piss on their grave. Anyway, have a nice day. Early game is right from the start.